Hi everybody, today we're going to be talking about the ID Buzz and the reason for that is because any minute now you're going to be able to order the new long wheelbase ID Buzz. So today we're going to run you through some of the differences between them, what you get, what you don't get, because obviously you're not going to be able to see one as yet because we're not going to have the vehicles probably until later on in the year. So I think with ourselves here as dealers, I don't think we're going to get them probably till November time to actually see them on the ground. Obviously, I'm sure there's going to be some of these vehicles travelling around the country, so you probably will start to see some of them probably in the next month or so, maybe, if you can keep an eye out. So first off, let's talk about long wheelbase. What does that actually mean in reality? So wheelbase, for those that you don't know, is basically the distance between your two wheels. So that's the wheel base. So from the middle of the wheel to the other middle of the wheel, and that's that particular size that's in there. Things like, for example, the multivan, that we have a long version, and that all it means is that's all on the back of the vehicle. So it's not actually a long or a short wheelbase, where the ID Buzz will be like the Transporter, and there'll actually be a short and long wheelbase. And that is, this section is basically being extended and being pushed out. On something like the Transporter, that was done with a middle section that's in the vehicle, and obviously the outside of it just looked like a longer vehicle. The ID Buzz is very, very different in this respect. So the difference in wheel length is 192 millimeters. I have a ruler. So 192 is there to there. So that's how much longer the vehicle is, and that's how much longer the wheelbase is as well. So this extra space is purely in this section of the vehicle. So if I shut this door, so on the long wheelbase, here forward, exactly the same, no differences at all on that side of it. From here backwards, absolutely, again, no differences that's in here. So this section and the front section, exactly the same. The 192 millimeters is this door. It's going to be 192 millimeters longer. So this door is going to be from there to there. Pretty big door. But what it will do by having this door, if you've seen photos of the long wheelbase, is it's going to blend it into the vehicle. So rather than having a small door and a big overhang, because usually on a longer wheelbase the cab's always the same anyway and it's at the back, that's going to sit perfectly in the middle of the vehicle. And that's what's important, because if you look back at the vehicles before, so the T1, T2, things like that, the old heritage Volkswagens, they had a similar kind of thing with the vehicle, middle of the vehicle as well, and it gives you that nice long streamlined vehicle. And the long wheelbase looks great, it really does. I said I've seen the vehicle quite a while ago now, a mock-up of the vehicle, what it would actually look like. I've seen loads of photos and things like that as well. I think it looks stunning. And overall length-wise is pretty much exactly the same as a T6.1. So the overall length of the long wheelbase is 4904. So let's just say it's 4.9 meters long. That's the easiest way to look at it. Let's ignore that little 4 on the end for the moment, because I'm never going to remember that. So it's 4.9 meters long on the long wheelbase one. So it said it's under that 5 meters in length anyway, that's on the vehicle that's on there, which is the important thing that I look at, trying to get it under that size of it. So it's pretty much exactly the same as a T6.1. So moving to this, if you've got that side of the vehicle, I don't think it will feel a lot bigger. And as I said, the vehicle as we stand at the moment, this one is 192 millimeters shorter than the long wheelbase. So size of the vehicle, that's number one important thing that's changed from here. The second one is to do with the seating configuration that's in here. So currently ID Buzz is only available as a 5-seater. Now that's going to change when the introduction of model year 25, which coincides also with the launch of the long wheelbase ID Buzz. So at that point then, so we're going to have still as standard 5 seats in the standard size Buzz, but the long wheelbase is the 7-seat option. So that's going to give you another 2 seats in the back, and it is standard with 7 seats. The standard wheelbase, this one here, you'll have the option to upgrade this to 6 seats. So you'll be able to actually add 2 seats in the back, so you'll have 2, 2 and 2 that's in here, so you can get this now in a 6-seat. But the important thing is the only version you can get as a 7-seat is the long wheelbase. So let's talk about power outputs, let's talk about the motors that's in there and the battery that's in both of these two vehicles. So currently as we stand at the moment, so we're going to have a 79 kilowatt hour and a 86 kilowatt hour depending on the long. So the long wheelbase is the 86. Power output at 286. Really easy for us to remember this on the long wheelbase because it's 86 kilowatt hours, it's 286 output for the vehicle that's on there, and the range, the WLTP range, is 286 miles that's on there as well, so nice and easy for us to remember. In the standard version, that's moved up to a 79 kilowatt engine, and the range on there, the WLTP range, is 277. Now obviously we know in reality those ranges does depend very much so on weather and temperature outside, depending on how much we're going to get from in there. And until we've actually physically got a long wheelbase on the road, it's going to be very difficult to give you an accurate picture of what those figures are particularly like. But obviously say at the moment we're looking around the 250 kind of mark as a WLTP range, so that gives you an idea of how much more the long wheelbase is probably going to do in reality, because that step up, whether you get that or not, and there's lots of people will make lots of comments I'm sure in the video about the range that's in there, but that difference is basically where we're actually going to see, and you're probably going to see that increase on the actual range of which you can do. Now there is one other vehicle which we haven't talked about that's in here, and I know you're all probably listening for it. I'm going to mention it twice in this video, so I'm going to mention it once now, the word GTX. Yes, it is coming, GTX. Will it be available straight away at launch when you can get the long wheelbase and the short wheelbase for model year? I don't think so, but it is coming. That's in there. Talk about it a little bit then, so watch to the end of the video and we'll talk a little bit more about the GTX at the very end. So let's talk about options that are going to be available on the vehicle. So pretty much no different to as it currently is with the options that's on the vehicle. We're going to the same style and life setup. So life is the entry, then the style model. Probably a couple of the key differences as far as what you can and can't get. So the seating package, so on the standard version here, to get those 2 extra seats, £250 including the VAT for those 2 extra seats. Time will tell. I don't quite understand why you wouldn't have 2 seats extra 2 seats for £250. I think from a resale value later on when you get in the vehicle coming from on there. So obviously we need to see the vehicle and see with the seats in it, which we haven't actually done as yet. But for £250 for those 2 extra seats, I don't understand why you wouldn't get 2 extra seats in there. We certainly won't be ordering anything without the 6 seats in the standard wheelbase, I don't think. I think that would be wouldn't be the right thing to do. So let's wait and see how that actually pans out, see whether that's the case or not. Obviously the long wheelbase is going to have the 7 seats as standard, so that doesn't matter as well. And then 2 other options which is worth talking about that's on here as well, which neatly brings us then on to colours as well. And this is the second time I'm going to mention this this word GTX, and that is to do with the new pan roof that's in the vehicle. If you haven't seen any other videos, there's been plenty of videos that have shown this new pan roof that's in there, which is standard in the GTX. It's an option on the style. It's £2,200 as an option on the style, and this is the one where you can press a button and it makes it opaque. Really, really good. Really looking forward to seeing what this actually looks like in reality on the vehicle when it comes as well. So that's the first option. It says standard on the GTX when that arrives. Going to be an option on the style version, £2,200 that's on there. If it was me, I'd be ordering that, I think. I think it's going to look pretty spectacular, I think, with it. But we need to see one. We haven't seen one with it in yet, so let's hold fire. Let's wait and see from in there. You know me, I've got a multivan currently. That's got a pan roof in it. Would I have one without a pan roof? Not now I've had one, definitely not. So great feature that's on there. It just makes it feel so much bigger and lighter and different vehicle inside. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be the same for this as well. Again, time will tell. And then the last one, which I don't know a huge amount of information about now, is but you can now get a heat pump. And any of you know about electric vehicles will know that some vehicles come standard with a heat pump, and basically that is conditioning of the battery. So in cold weather predominantly, my understanding of it is it will allow you to get the range you get in summer, you can get in winter, obviously there, but it's over just over £1,000 for that option. Obviously we'll have to wait to see exactly what we get the information from on that as well. I haven't had time to quite read up on all the ins and outs of it, but that was one of the key things that stood out for me that was available on there as well, because I know there's been lots of talk of electric vehicles in winter. I mean, my experience in winter is when you first jump in and it's really cold, the range has plummeted from the night before that's on there. However, as soon as the vehicle warms up and I'm out on the road, the range comes back up to where it was. So that's my experience anyway. I'm sure there's lots of you put comments in there exactly what that means and doesn't mean for you doing it. But those are the key standout ones from those. And that nicely leads into the colours. Colours all the same as they were before. However, and I did ask for this myself, I did ask for it. Slightly not got quite what I wanted, but very nearly got what I wanted. So cherry red is on the lineup that's on there. You know me and my red vehicles, love them. I've got one at the moment in Fontana Red. So cherry red is available, but only on the GTX from what I can read. And they're also doing a cherry red and silver, like a two-tone. I'll put a picture up now so you can have a look. Again, GTX only, I believe. I'd love to see that in the long wheelbase version, because as I said, the GTX is only available in the standard wheelbase with those 6 seats. It's in there as well. But you know, time will tell. This is only just coming out now, so let's go and see what's coming that's on there as well. So my pick obviously will probably be that's what I'm going to get, but obviously to start with we're going to be looking at a long wheelbase. That's what's going to arrive first. So that's it for today. It was a very quick discussion about what's coming with the ID Buzz on the long wheelbase introduction, and obviously for the new versions it's on here as well with the extra seating version. So it's a model year 25 launch, which you'll see it's coming very, very shortly. Probably not long after this video is up and running, you'll probably be able to actually start ordering these, fingers crossed. It's in there as well. Let us know what you think about these in the comments box below. Obviously, when we can actually physically get our hands on one, we can talk you through. I'm dying to play with the seats and find out how all this seating combination works, what you can and can't do. I've seen videos on it. There's quite a few people that's on there doing videos at the moment who've actually seen the long wheelbase and how it works. But obviously, you know me, I like to do these things myself and actually see what it's all about, and then I can talk you through and how those work as well. So, hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it informative and you got what you need out of it. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like if you have enjoyed it, and if you don't subscribe, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.